Check, check. Is that better? Is my volume better now? Anybody? I usually use a different mic. Okay. I had to switch mics. I just didn't have this one set up. So sorry to the people that didn't hear the Space Outcast remix challenge from Larry O and J-Tech. J-Tech is dope. Larry O is dope. That's still going on until February 26th. So win some prizes. You have time to get your track in. There's another remix challenge going on. BeatStars has teamed up with FL Studio, which is a really cool partnership. And all you have to do is download one of the samples, make a beat out of it, and you can win up to $1,500 worth of prizes. And they're choosing one winner per sample. And that doesn't end until the 28th. So honestly, I think you could probably get both of these contests in the next couple of weeks. It's just 2 beats. You can do it. Just check out beatstars.world/cookup. Shout out to Sydney in the chat. She's the puppet master. She's pulling all the strings behind the scenes. I don't know if she wants me to call her that. Sorry, Sydney, but the links are in the chat, so you can click on them. And yeah, there's 2 challenges that you can participate in. There are always a lot of opportunities going down at BeatStars. So check out beatstars.world and follow BeatStars on all social media to stay on top of all of the opportunities and contests and challenges that they run. It is freezing. Thoughts and prayers to everyone in the Midwest. I'm drinking tea, but this is more like, it's like a mini space heater for me. It's so damn cold in the Midwest. Anyway, unfortunately, the 2 guests that were scheduled to talk about placements had to fly out last minute. So you're getting me. And I've been reluctant to make tutorial videos. And now I'm just going to do it because I've had a lot of requests lately. I haven't made a beat tutorial video in a while. I've had a lot of requests for people who are asking me to make one of these kind of soulful beats that I make from scratch, and I actually will do it from scratch. I'm not going to use the sample as the basis for this beat. So first of all, I want to make sure that my audio is good. Can you hear piano? Someone let me know if you could hear piano. Here's what's funny. Now my headphones are suddenly starting to pick up radio signals. So there's a song in the right channel right now. It's kind of distracting. Anyway, cool. I'm glad that the audio sounds good. Let me go back to sharing my screen. I will try to address questions in the chat. This is interactive, so ask questions at any point, and I will try very hard to check in. Sorry, to answer this question. I did one recently, and I personally, I don't think MailChimp looks any different. Maybe like within the last, I don't know, year and a half it's changed, but it functions the same way. I think they just changed their visuals so that you have to click on icons on the left now. Anyway, back to the Soulful beat tutorial. So from scratch, so I did, just to avoid a complete disaster and wasting a lot of time, I did play a chord progression earlier, but I'll break it down. It's just piano. Most of my beats, especially the soulful ones, have really simple instrumental foundations. So I stick with kind of basic instruments for these kinds of beats, the kind of timeless instruments like piano, E-piano, Rhodes. So I like laying chords down first, and this first chord I believe is a minor ninth. F sharp as the bass. But if I were to play the chord all the way out, it would be. So this is the minor, then I add the 7th, which is the E, and then I add the 9th, which is G sharp. But I kind of invert it. And keep the F sharp as the bass note. It just gives it a soulful feel. This is another minor 9th. I don't know what the name of this chord is. And then a diminished chord here. I really like diminished chords because they add tension. And the way to play a diminished chord, I don't even know, what is this chord? Let me see. It looks like G sharp. So diminished chord structure is easy. This isn't going to be like a super in-depth music theory tutorial because I'm not very good at it. But diminished chords are easy to remember. They sound really great, but and they sound kind of harder than they are to play. It's just thirds. So if the chord I want to play in this case is G sharp, right? I start with G sharp and move up three steps, and then another 3, and then another 3, and I can just keep going. Wait. I can fatten it however I want. I just keep moving up thirds. Let me check the chat to see if anyone has any questions. Nobody has questions. It's just Bufo talking to people and being a positive community member. Oh, shout out to Miss Instrumental. Shout out to Cloud9 Music. I need to get Cloud9 Music on here sometime. Shout out to Classy Beats. Shout out to Vivid J. Shout out to the radio station in the right channel of my headphones. I think they're playing Kendrick Lamar right now. Do I play all progressions from scratch? I mean, yeah. I just kind of showed you the structure. And that's why I played these in advance. There's a reason. You're welcome. Because if I didn't play these in advance, you would have to see me go through the whole painstaking process of me. I'd just be sitting here, you know, messing around on the keyboard for 20 minutes, and I don't want to put you through that. So once I lay this progression down, I usually don't jump right into drums. I usually just keep adding melodies to make it full. And I like this whole idea of the instruments having a conversation with one another. So I'll show you what I mean. We have this piano chord here, right? And I set up a Rhodes track here. It's one of my favorite sounds ever, just because, you know, it just sounds beautiful. There are very few sounds that are just this pleasant to the ear. So I want the Rhodes to answer the piano. And here's what I mean. The piano speaks first. You know what I mean? So the Rhodes answers. I'm gonna change the chord. So now the Rhodes answers each time, and I'm step recording because I don't remember my chords. I played these last night. Let's go higher with that one. Actually, no. I'm gonna play both. Having the pedal really helps. Otherwise, you know, whatever DAW you can use, you can just manually automate the damper pedal. But I have one here. I have an actual pedal that's hooked up to my keyboard. It just makes my life easier. I'm just gonna copy and paste that in. Let me go to my mixing console and turn the Rhodes way down because it's too loud. And I remember I made a comment way back that I feel really bad about. Somebody asked me about whether or not I mix my beats while I make them, and I'm like, who does that? I do. I was just being dense. So one thing that I will do pretty much all the time is just throw an EQ, just some subtractive EQ. Just in general, I do this on my instruments, especially piano, especially Rhodes, because they have a lot of heavy low end, and I want to create space in the low frequencies for the bass, and I don't want the low and low mids to interfere with vocals. So I want to constantly be aware of the space that I'm creating in my beat throughout the process. So I will bus those instruments to just a simple subtractive EQ channel. Oh, here's another trick. I don't know if it's a trick. It's just something that I do. Ozone Imager. This is a free plugin. It was free when I downloaded it. I think it's still free. I think Isotope just made it free. It just adds a little bit of stereo width. You don't want to mess with it too much. Well, actually, you know what? There are no rules. Do whatever you want. You can widen, or you can what's the opposite of widening? Narrow. You can narrow as well. I'm gonna widen my piano and my Rhodes. It just sounds nice. Let me go to the chat, see what's going down, see what Bufo's doing. Stuff it like a Christmas turkey. I figured we were gonna get that kind of comment. Ben, we forgive you. Vivid J, my process is similar to yours, so it's excruciating. I don't know about the Waves S1 Imager. I assume so. Do I like making lo-fi hip-hop? I feel like lo-fi hip-hop is a problematic term, but we won't get into that. The free plugin is called Isotope Ozone Imager. Isotope Ozone Imager. So, matter of fact, let me Google it right now. And if it's free, I will drop a link. It is still free. Okay, so I'm going to drop a link in the chat. What's going down, Levi? Levi was my guest recently. That was a cool episode. It's still free. You're right, Ben. So I just dropped the link. You can download it. I'm not endorsing the product. I'm just saying I use it. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. Okay, cool. Back to the beat. I have little guitar chops that I'll use that I like. That because I can't play guitar, so I'll just have little pieces that I'll throw in. You know, Splice comes in handy for this too. Splice Sounds.com. What else? Arcade. I like. Just little accents that add depth and musicality to your beats. Musicality. Why did I say it like that? So I gotta tune them, obviously. I like that kind of. Yeah, I don't need that. Okay, Arps. Here we go. I love using Arps, but I like using a very specific kind of ARP, a very specific sounding ARP. So my advice to you, you can do this with any VST pretty much. A lot of VSTs have, I use a super old version of Omnisphere, but, and I just have ARPs that I've saved. They're all based on just synths. So this, like a square lead, a square wave is really useful for this kind of thing. And I'm just going to show you the tricks to the ARP. I'm going to show you different tricks to the ARP, so Bufo can giggle at the word tricks. Shout out to Killer Tame. Shout out to Mr. Watt. Shout out to Sign Beats. I think you pronounce it Sign Beats, or is it Sin Beats? My bad. I've known you for a while and I never asked. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Whatever is playing in this headphone, they're singing their ass off. It's so annoying and distracting. I don't know why all of a sudden there are radio signals being sent to my headphone. Once I start getting the Illuminati messages, it's time to move. Okay, so with the ARP, I figure out the root note, which in this case, this whole beat is in the key. Sorry if that was super loud. I gotta turn that down. The key is C sharp minor. So the root note is C sharp, and I would find some chord in that key to play out. If I'm, so right now what I have in my VST is I have the Arpeggiator activated, and I have it set. I'm gonna set it to a 30-second note triplet. The way I do ARPs, I kind of model them after the sounds that I hear in 80s R&B. So it's a lot of square leads, a lot of reverb. Fat sounding chords, R&B chords. So I could play, any combination of notes within the the key of C sharp minor. And it would sound fine. I personally like again, if I knew more about music theory, I could tell you what the scale was, but for now I'm just going to say it's E, F sharp, G sharp, B, and then up to the root note, which is C sharp. And I think that sounds pretty good as is. And I will just add a ton of delay on it. And that works, right? I think it sounds good. But I'm going to do something way harder. Because what the arpeggiator is doing is it's playing your notes, your chord, as individual notes in a scale based on the parameters that you set. So there's an order. You select how many octaves you want it to run. You select the note value. You select the length. Sometimes when you shorten the length, it sounds really cool. It just feels more 80s. But I'm going to turn the ARP off. And I'm going to make life harder on myself. But sometimes I want more control over what scale is being played in the ARP. I don't just want a simple upward run or downward run. So like, let's say I want a more complex pattern, like I can't play that fast. So I'm going to play as best as I can, and then I'm going to open the MIDI roll. Some of you go straight to the MIDI roll, and so you probably would have made it easier on yourself. I'm going to use 30-second note triplets to make it really fast, and I'm just going to build my ARP manually, note by note, brick by brick. I'm just going to keep going. I don't know when to stop. I'm just going to keep going. We'll see what happens. This might be a disaster. Let's listen. Yeah, it's kind of a disaster. I'm gonna try a different one. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play that. You know, you win some, you lose some. I'm not even gonna look at the chat now, because I'm embarrassed of my failed ARP. I think this one will work better. It's a little more straightforward. If anyone can play this fast, let me know. This is the really fun part. Watching me do it. I'm having fun. I hope you are. Bust that to the EQ, and actually let's see what happens if I turn it up an octave and low shelf it or cut it off a little more. I'm not gonna put that until the second section. I break everything down into 4 measure sections, so this is, if this is the hook, this is the A, and this is the B of the hook. And then the fun part is the bass line. So before I get into the bass line, let me check the chat. Let's see. Yeah, that is absolutely the best part of making beats by yourself. That's why the whole prospect of making beats live in the studio can be really intimidating, because you're bound to mess something up. But you know, who cares? That's life. We're not robots. Used to scare me too. I don't care anymore. Obviously, because I'm broadcasting this to the world, and then I'm going to re-upload it to my YouTube channel, so potentially thousands of people will see this. So bass line. Where am I at? Bass line, start with the root note of each chord. So if you don't know, just figure out the root note of the chord. I know for this one, it is F sharp. I can go in my MIDI roll and look. I want to select a different sound here. But, so what I found with bass lines is that this is a safe way to start out playing bass lines. Just learn what the root note is for each chord and play that. So I could just play this F sharp for the whole 2 counts of this chord. And then go to the next one. But, and it sounds fine, but it's, for me, it got boring. I wanted to play more like a bassist, so I kind of learned how to walk my notes up. So instead of just holding something down, I'd walk up and try to maybe be fancy. Just try to make it I'm not telling this to you. I'm saying that this is what I try to do. I try to make it sound more realistic. I didn't even have my, hold on. I don't think anyone saw my hands. So instead of holding it down, I can. So the more you learn the scale that you're playing in, the cooler the bass line can be potentially. It just kind of takes time. And for me, I listen to a lot of music with live bass, and that kind of set me up to fail because a live bassist can do a way better job. But I did learn some techniques from them, and just kind of listened and said, oh, they walk it up this way. I could try to translate that onto a keyboard and do the same thing. So these are my first 2 measures of my bass line. It's taking shape. And then the next chord is G sharp. Sometimes you don't know if you're playing the notes right. If you know the key, then you know if you're playing the wrong note. But I'll often just play whatever bass line idea I have in a higher register. So instead of playing down here, I'm going to move up an octave. Okay, those are the right notes. So now I know what the right notes are. I'm going to drop back down and record. You'll also notice that I'm not quantizing anything. Everything is like a jagged line because I don't want it to sound robotic. For this type of beat, I want it to sound organic, so I'm not going to quantize anything. Except the arp, I guess. But I could move the arp a little bit so it feels late. I like when things feel late. Late is better than early, trust me. And yeah, I'm recording in steps because again, I'm stressed out by I'm not stressed out. I'm distracted by the live aspect of this beat making, so I just don't want to. My ego isn't that strong yet. I'm working on my level of confidence and security this year. I'm not there yet. I'm only a couple months in. One day I'm just gonna go all the way and just play the whole thing. Have some freaking confidence in myself. Right now, nah, I'm playing it safe. Let me run to the chat to see who's talking shit. Yeah, you never thought about recording the bass notes in sections. Probably because you have a little more confidence in yourself. I'm playing it in sections, and that's just how it is. So, yeah. So I want to make sure that I'm just teaching you, like technique and not DAW specific stuff because I'm using a DAW that people don't really use. I'm using Acid. I have never used FL Studio 12. Decap came over once and showed me Ableton, and I didn't get it. We made a beat together. We actually sold the beat like the same week. But that was probably more because Decap was out there, hustling. But yeah, Cubase, I'm starting to learn that a lot of producers use Cubase. It's interesting. Shout out to Rich Daly. But yeah, again, speaking of FL, there is that FL Studio contest going on BeatStars, so join. Yeah, Reason. I mean, look, and what's up, bro? Yeah, use whatever you like. Music is music. I used to know producers that would make beats entirely on Pro Tools, and they sounded great. Reaper, everyone just uses what they use. You know what I mean? Just use it. There was a time when everyone thought FL was a joke, like in the early 2000s. Everyone made it into a joke, and it was called Fruity Loops, so that didn't help because it sounded like a kid's cereal, and so whatever. And then they changed it to FL, and everyone got bougie and started feeling sophisticated. Okay, cool. So I have a full. I don't want to. I don't want to cram this full of instruments, but I kind of do want. Oh, that's messed up. I kind of do want a section that stands out. So I want. So like I said, this is the first four, and these are the second four measures of the chorus. And so I want some variation in the second. So what am I gonna do? Maybe I'll. What do I have? My camera's in the way. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add some strings, but I'm gonna keep it really, really, really subtle. And I know I've talked about this on the last couple sessions, one with Levi and one with Bubba Got Beats. Just talking about when to stop producing a beat, you know? When do you say enough is enough? And for me, I don't want to overdo it. And so I'm saying enough is enough here. With these strings, they're not gonna intrude much on the frequency range in which the vocals would sit. I want to keep it open for the vocals. Ooh, those strings have to be turned down. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm just playing. Yeah. Ooh, that was the wrong note. Got to go back up to the G sharp on that. Right? I had to go up to the B because I was already using the G sharp. I'm just going to let that note trail off. Okay, cool. Let me check the chat, and then we're going to get into some drums. And I'm going to kind of show you how I do drums. Some organic almond butter is crunchy. Where's the instrumental? Probably going to send you this beat, so I'm glad you like it. Okay, cool. All right, back to the trenches. Probably not gonna add brass. Brass is tough. Brass is tough. Okay, shameless self-promotion. I use my own drum kits. This is Damn That Hurt 3. This is my favorite kit. So I'm gonna use this. And I'm gonna throw a cymbal, a crash cymbal over it, because when it drops, so maybe I should work on the intro now. So let me move everything over. And I'm gonna create just a little 4-bar intro, and I'm gonna show you some dynamics tricks. So what I really want is for this part to make an impact, and for this 4-bar intro to really be a crescendo up to that point of impact. There are a bunch of different kind of cheap tricks that I have in my up my sleeve that I use. One of them is that you can just do some kind of like automation, just kind of EQ on the master. You can use it on individual notes. I'm just going to use this high pass, and I'm going to automate it so that as we get closer to that drop, the frequency range becomes fuller. I'm going to use my drum fills here. And I'm going to reverse my cymbal. Oh, and here's another thing that I don't think producers use enough of: silence. I'm going to cut everything but the toms. That'll really make an impact, I think. Yeah, that makes, I'm going to get rid of the guitar too. All right, cool. Something else too, everyone does this. I'm super late on this. I'm going to bus my kick and my crash both to a soft clipper, and I know with like FL everybody does this, probably Ableton too. And I'm gonna clip the hell out of my kick, and then I'm gonna turn it down on the bus so it doesn't actually clip in the master, but it just sounds loud as hell and really makes it a nice impact. Okay. Where else? I might do more with the intro. I could add like a strings run, but we're running out of time, so I just want to focus on drums. Where am I at? I could use my drum kit again. Yeah, I have some melodic one-shots in the drum kit also. These kind of help with transitions. And then I have no shame. I will use hi-hat loops. I feel like I get a pass because I made these. I like that one because it has a kind of vinyl texture to it. Let's see. I'm gonna grab a snare. Let's see how that sounds. Finding a snare, man. Oh my gosh. Play with velocity on these kicks. I've heard them called ghost notes. I don't know what to call them. They're just kicks. I don't love that snare. Let's replace the snare with something else. Okay, so now the intro into the actual first section of the beat will sound like quite a crescendo. So that's the dynamic I want to create. It really sucks to make a whole beat and then you listen back to it and it feels like everything is at one level. There's no high, there's no low. There's no build up, there's no breakdown, and so I'm really conscious of that as I'm producing. Yeah, I like that transition. It sounds like intro, you anticipate a drop, the drop comes in, you're satisfied, you get the bass, you get the drums, you get the crash, you get, some guitar, the hi-hats, everything just comes in and satisfies you. And then for the verse section here, so let's break this down then. So this would be, this section here is hook, right? 8 measures, and then here will be 16 measures of verse. I'm gonna break down the verse section a little. So let's add a fill here. Maybe that flam doesn't sound very good. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with the flam. We can bring the crashes back in. Sounds dramatic. Yeah, so now I want the dynamic to be broken down. And so I'm just going to remove, the harder elements. Bass goes. But let's make sure that the rhythm stays consistent. So I'm gonna go and add something to keep the rhythm consistent, and you know, something kind of like a metronome, something serving as a rhythmic guide. This is my drum kit, right? Yeah. I'm gonna add a rim. Let's add a rim. Do I want reverb? Maybe not. So I'm just gonna replace the snare with a rim shot. And then I bring it back in. So we're back to the A, B. I just like creating a dynamic. And so we have that there. You know what? I'm gonna go back. Don't cancel me for this. I'm gonna go back to the ARP. I'm gonna turn the ARP on. And go back to my original ARP. And this I will quantize. But I might offset it. All right, we're down to the last 5 minutes, so let me check the chat. And oh man, there's a lot to catch up on. Yeah, those drum fills, I've been meaning to, some of you have them. I've been meaning to give those away for free. I will. Soon. I don't know when, but I will. Appreciate you for getting that kit. Yeah, so do I. Oh, we have someone else that uses acid. Wow. Yeah. Me too. And truth be told, I'm not going to lie to you. I probably will go back because I like this beat, so I want to finish it. And I might go in and replace that snare. I just don't want to put you through, 10 minutes of me hunting for a snare. Appreciate that. Thank you. I do trust you. Alicia, man, I would love to work with Alicia Keys. And I would love to have a Rick Ross song with a John Legend feature. Or a Rick Ross song with an Alicia Keys feature. Or an Alicia Keys song with a Rick Ross feature. Royce the 5'9", I can actually send this to. Yeah, this is what we want, Bufo. This is what we want from you. Someone gave me a good idea. Let's see if this will work. It could work. Adding some sort of like hand drum element into the mix. I just want to be careful with that. I don't want to overdo it and make it sound corny, but there's a way. Let's see. issue with these is they have tones, so you kind of have to tune them. That one sounds good. I just want to keep it subtle. So yeah, you can add really subtle pieces, and sometimes those subtleties make a beat what it is. I don't know if that's what I just did. I don't think so, but they sound cool. Actually. I like that they're just in the background there, and they're not really in your face in the mix. So yeah, right now I have 15 tracks. I'm kind of trying to limit myself to 15 nowadays because I used to be, 60 plus. Everyone is just A&Ring in the chat. Monica and Wale, Alicia Keys, John Legend. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, let's do. Someone contact all those people for me. Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate it. Next week, damn, who do I have coming next week? It's a good one. Oh man, hold on. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. Next week's guest is Caillou Beats. Caillou Tracks, my bad. Has a ridiculous amount of YouTube subscribers, like hundreds and hundreds of thousands. So we're gonna talk to him about that. Prepare in advance. Get some YouTube SEO questions in advance. Yes, yes. That Caillou is code word for Bufo. Appreciate everybody. Yeah, come with some questions because YouTube is still one of those platforms that can bring a lot of traffic to your BeatStars beat store, and that's what the name of the game is, right? So appreciate all of you for tuning in. I will check you out next Thursday, same time, same place. Dame will be here on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out his sessions and check out beatstars.world. Make sure you follow all of them. If you missed any part of this, it will be archived on the BeatStars Twitch account as well as the BeatStars Facebook and YouTube channel as well, and I will upload it to my YouTube channel as well. Probably not in its entirety, but it will be streamed in its entirety and saved on the BeatStars platform. So check those out. Once again, catch you next week. Have a great week, great weekend. Be productive. Peace, everyone.